Okay, this is a really brief note value demonstration. If you're having trouble remembering how many beats are in a whole note, or how many beats are in a half note or a dotted half note, this is a really good video for you to review. Okay, so I have a chart here that's showing you basically the hierarchy of our note values. And hierarchy means like the structure of greatest to smallest. Okay, so we're gonna start up here at the top. This is which type of note? Yeah, you got it. That's a whole note. And a whole note equals 4 beats. Okay, a whole note fills the whole measure. That's why it's called a whole note, because it just takes that one note to fill the whole measure. Okay, now the second type of note, this is called a half note, and you'll notice there's 2 of them right here. That's because it takes 2 half notes to equal a whole note, because a half note is worth 2 beats. Okay, so it's kind of like we took that whole note and we cut it in half, and then we wound up with a half note. All right, the next line has 4 different notes on it. Do you remember what type of note this is called? Yes, you got it. That's a quarter note. Okay, a quarter note equals 1 beat. So how many quarter notes does it take to equal a whole note? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 quarter notes equal a whole note. How many quarter notes to equal a half note? 1, 2. Okay, so is this making sense how it's kind of splitting them up? If you took this half note and you cut it in half, then you've got a quarter note. All right, now this next line, ooh, we've got a lot more notes right here. These are eighth notes. So an eighth note is worth half of a beat. Okay, half a beat. Can you count how many eighth notes are right there? How many eighth notes does it take to equal your whole note? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's where we get its name from. It takes 8 of these to equal one whole. This is sounding a little bit like fractions and math. How many of you are still having to do math exercises and remember all of your addition, subtraction, multiplication? Yeah, you gotta keep going with that stuff. Okay, and then this last line that we're gonna talk about on the chart, these are 16th notes. Okay, 16th notes are even smaller. One of these 16th notes equals a quarter of a beat. That means it takes 4 16th notes. When they're put all together, that makes 1 beat. So it takes 4 of them to get to 1 beat. That means 4 times 4, 4 16th notes per 1 beat, and there's 4 beats in each measure. Multiply 4 times 4 and you get what? 16, and that's where these notes get their name from. It takes 16 of them to fill the entire measure, okay? And we're not gonna talk about these crazy guys down here just yet, okay? Because those are really, really small. All right, so I hope that helps. Now that you've gone through the review video, I wanna talk to you about dotted notes, okay? So just to remind you, a dotted half note, where it looks like a half note but has a little dot next to it, that is where you take half of the note's value, which half of a half note is 1 beat, because a half note equals 2. Take half of that, which is 1, add it back to the note. So a dotted half note equals 3 beats. A dotted quarter note equals a beat and a half, because you had to cut that 1 beat in half, and you get a little half, add it back to the note, and you get 1 1/2. Okay, so that's just a brief review. And now what I want you to do after seeing this video is work on your music math worksheet that was sent to your parents in an email, okay? So make sure you've got that music math worksheet and try to go through and answer the questions of how many beats total do those problems equal. All right, great job.